During this session together, I want to talk about ways for you to control your thoughts and your emotion, your mindset from the very minute you wake up in the morning to get off to a great start and create momentum with that empowered way of thinking and taking action because of that empowered thinking. From the minute you wake up all throughout the day and just get on a roll. And that roll that you create because you're so in control of your thoughts and your emotions and your actions, that day leads to another day and another day and another day of thinking that way. And when you look back on it, because you were able to control your thoughts and emotions and your actions in such a manner, I mean, you just stack on week upon week, month upon month, and you just get so much closer to your goals and enjoy the process along the way. So that's what I want to talk about in our time together, is how you can control those thoughts and emotions which lead to empowering, decisive, productive actions all throughout the day from the very minute you wake up. Now, when you take this material and you learn it and execute it, you don't just learn it, you actually execute it, you will see that everything that you know is important, how the mindset is. You know you have all this talent and ability. It's just how to use the control tower, so to speak, of your mind to use all your talents and resources effectively. Well, it all starts in the thoughts and emotions, what you're focusing on. This will help you focus on all the things that remind you of how amazing you are and how much possibility you have in the world when you just get to work. Right? You'll be able to focus on those things just by asking yourself questions, asking yourself the right questions. You'll get yourself in the right mindset. And if you maybe listen to this and maybe you learn it and you don't take action, you don't do what I'm saying, well, then you wake up in the morning, and what will determine if it's going to be a great day or not? Is it going to be what happened the day before? If somebody says something nice to you, you get a good email. Is there some outside event that's going to signal to you and your brain that you should have positive, empowered emotions? Is it going to be some outside force, or are you going to control what comes into your mind and creates that tone? Right? So if you learn this and don't execute it, you're going to be subject to whatever happens. And hopefully it's good things that get you in the right way of thinking for the day. Many times it's not. You just don't want your life, your emotions, your feelings, your focus, and therefore your actions to be dependent on outside sources. You want to control it rather than letting it control you. So the strategy that I've learned, and I just want to tell you, I learned so many strategies from so many great leaders. And I take total responsibility that if I didn't use them, I don't say that, it was a terrible strategy. I will say this, it wasn't something that meshed well with me. And I could recite, I could tell you about all those strategies, but what's the use of saying that? If I didn't get the benefit of it, I'm not going to tell you strategies. There's a million strategies on the internet for motivation and mental toughness and time management strategies. I'm not going to just repeat to you something that out of the hundreds that I've learned that I didn't use, because obviously if I didn't use them, then how effective could they be? What I'm sharing with you are not only the ones that I use on a consistent basis. And not only that I use on a consistent basis, if I'm sharing those strategies with you, it's because I feel as though they have a big bang for their buck, meaning the amount of effort I put in, the benefits outweigh it by 100. And that's why I continue to do it. So in the morning, I don't know about you, when I was in less control of my emotions, that outside influences, I would check email. I would hope maybe some good sales or something came through the internet overnight. It was just a big grab bag. It was just, it was random. What would stimulate me to be in a positive mood as I started my day? And now this isn't always true. This isn't always true. I just want to make sure I don't implant a belief. Many times, though, if you don't get your day off to a good start, that seems to carry over all throughout the day. And again, I'm saying to you that that isn't necessarily true. I don't want to plant that belief, because many times you could have a horrible first half hour, first 2 hours of your day, and you can turn it around. And you should have that belief. Many times, though, when you get off to a great start, it creates that momentum. You're on a roll. I really find, personally, that it's so important how I start my day. And I can look back when I wasn't so in control of my emotions, that, again, outside influences played a part. And I can really think back. And on the outside, I'm successful. I'm still going forward, but it's not about you actually accomplishing things. It's about, are you using your talents and abilities to the fullest? That's what it's all about, because we all could say we're doing better than most, just continuing doing what we're doing. It's about to get the most of this talent that you have, this ability, this potential. It's your job to get the most out of it. And so when I'm looking back on that time, even though I accomplished things, I wasn't maximizing my potential, because I wasn't controlling the focus of my mind. Now, this strategy is simply asking yourself questions. The questions that you ask yourself are really determining what you focus on at that particular moment. Whenever you ask yourself questions, your brain is searching for the answers to the questions that you're asking it. So it's very important that you ask yourself empowering questions. If you ask yourself, why am I always tired in the morning, every morning when you wake up, right? Your brain's going to say, well, because you don't have energy, you eat horrible food, because you're not motivated. It'll find answers if you ask those type of questions. You want to ask empowering questions, and the questions that I'm going to give you are simply that, so your brain searches for the right answers right from the moment you wake up. Now, this strategy I learned from my great friend, and he's a motivational speaker, and I knew him when he was just rising up, Keurig Ashley. And this was a strategy that was introduced to me over 15 years ago. And when you wake up first thing in the morning, and I've really refined it, and I'm emphasizing in the way where it really had the most power to me, is that when I wake up, I don't check email, I don't look at social media, I don't do anything, I don't look around for what's going on, and I don't take the chance that something can control my thoughts to be happy, sad, or anything in between. That time I protect like a mad dog, like a protective mama bear for my brain and my emotions right from the very beginning, how I start my day. Right? I won't go to the bathroom and scan through my email or social media. Maybe I used to do that in the past until I really understood the power of how protective I have to be of my time. Right? And I don't do anything. I do it as soon as I can, first thing in the morning. Many times I don't go to the bathroom. Right? I have it on a board that is in my kitchen. I have my wife do it too. And by the way, it's a great way to communicate with your wife and your kids. If you have kids, it would be a great thing. They know where your mind is going. And you can see where your wife's mind is going. And a lot of times you can communicate and tell them how much you appreciate. There's a lot of great things, side benefits out of this that you will find out when you learn this and you execute it by asking yourself empowering questions. So what are those empowering questions? So like I said, I'll wake up, make sure I don't do anything else. I want to start my day. I look back and where I had this buzzing in my brain, chatter in my brain, trying to make sense of the world. I take control right away. And so I ask myself, what am I grateful for? And I write it down on this dry erase board. I don't just think about it. I take the physical action. What am I grateful for? Okay. Second question, what am I happy about? What makes me happy right now? What am I happy about? Okay. Third question, what do I love more about myself today than I did yesterday? Right? What can you appreciate about yourself? These are very powerful questions. When you ask yourself, what am I grateful for? There's tons of things to be grateful for. And there'll be tons of things to not be grateful for. But that's not what we're asking, and we're not hoping we find references of all the things that we're not grateful for. You control your thoughts. What am I grateful for? What am I happy about? What do I love more about myself? There's awesome things that you have done. You've grown over the last 24 hours. What do you love more about yourself today than you did yesterday? Those questions, you will find answers. And the more and more you do this, as you stack day upon day, week after week, you'll get better at it. Your mind becomes this machine that's looking for the answers, these great answers to these great questions. This is a great way to start your day. And then I ask myself the question, what are just 3 things? What are 3 things that I would do today, I need to do, if all my goals, my biggest goals, my sweet spot goal, that it was a foregone conclusion, it's done, not maybe it's done. If I were to believe that, what 3 things would I do today? Just 3, okay? And you know, sometimes it's always the same thing because it's the same success habits that you have to do every single day to push you ahead, all right? Every single morning, control your thoughts from the moment you wake up. Put off everything else. Don't leave it up to chance of what other people or other situations or the news, what's happening in other countries. You don't want that to affect your mood. I don't care if it's positive. You are in control of the thoughts that go into your head, the emotions that you feel first thing in the morning, and start your day off this way. What are you grateful for? What are you happy about? What do you love more about yourself? More today than yesterday. And then what are 3 things that you're going to do today just knowing that it's a foregone conclusion your success? Right? Send me an email at skip@fitnesscenterlifecoach.com. I want you to have a dry erase board. Send me a JPEG image that you followed through. Do it.